Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another CDL game. I am Maut here on Dota. We have a best of 5 series between UC Berkeley and, of course, UC San Francisco. So, sort of the battle of the Bay here. A lot of California fans will be watching, hopefully, ready to see who comes out on top. It is good to be back. Once again, I am Maut. I have not casted in quite some time. I had what you would call a septoplasty done for the common man's term. No surgery, rhinoplasty, if you will. And I am feeling back and better than ever, and it's good to be here. So I'm excited to cast this best of 5. Let's see how it goes. Maybe jump into a little bit of a SECS Sex Sunday Evening Cup Series action afterwards, if there's still time remaining, time permitting. Jumping into the game real quick, we have, of course, the pick ban phase, something that is always you can look forward to it with pretty much every Dota game that you find, because most Dota games are going to be captain's mode. Good Dota games that are going to be casted, of course. And with that, you get 2 bans from each team in the first ban section, 3 picks, and then another set of 3 bans followed by 2 last picks for each team. And of course, this is only if you're very new to the game, which I doubt many of you are watching this. So, jumping into the pick ban phase already, we see that Berkeley has the Magnus ban out, and of course, we see the ban out coming from the side of UCSF. It is the Undying ban. Nyx Assassin banned by Cal, and this is something I've seen pretty regularly in a lot of the Captain Mode stuff that I've been doing recently, and I mean, Nyx Assassin is really seeing this spike in popularity and play, and he's used a lot of the time as a 4 in terms of, he's not the hard support, but he's a support in a tri-lane that allows you to go for kills, and he also needs a little bit of farm to get like arcane boots, or just help get wards and things of that nature. And his impale is so strong, mana burn is absolutely ridiculous against anybody in the lane, and all you can do is you can run around the map as Nyx Assassin, just mana burning pretty much everybody that you meet, and you're already frustrating the other team by doing that. That Rider, of course, the next ban here from UCSF, a hero that still is very strong. So interesting to see what kind of team comp we're gonna see from both teams here. I do want to see what they do go for their first pick up here. Cal, of course, has the first pick, Berkeley, I should say. And I'm not sure what they're going to go for. They will pick up the Darkseer, of course, that Wall of Replica is so strong, but you do need to get a few levels of Iron Shell and Vacuum first. Usually you max those 2 things out. So you have to put him into the offlane and hope that he gets some decent farm, which he usually does, and he contributes pretty heavily to team fights, assuming that you can get your wall off in a pretty, nice location. And I think we're going to see a lot of big plays coming from Cal. And you notice how Berkeley here has their name. They have the tag on them. I always enjoy that, and of course UCSF doesn't, but that's okay. I mean, I'm not going to reprimand them too much for not having a tag. It's really not that big of a deal, but this really doesn't help me either, considering both teams are from California. So it's just like, that team. They do have yellow, though, so that is the yellow and blue, the Berkeley colors. I'll be able to discern that a little bit better. 1:18 left on the reserve time here. Going on the side of UCSF, they're thinking about what they want to pick up first. They go for a Lone Druid pickup first, surprisingly enough. Now, I think UCSF did something like this in their previous best of 5 semifinal series against the other Cal team, where they picked up a Lone Druid. I don't remember them picking it up first, and the Rubik pickup is certainly not a surprise, but usually you wait for Lone Druid. But they might be very confident in this pick. I think they wouldn't let it go, because they might realize that, Cal might be sort of just gaining strategy from UCSF. We had a long break. If you think about when the last semifinal was, it's about a month-ish, maybe a month and a half ago. And so that's plenty of time to scout your opponents. And so maybe these teams really know a little bit more about each other than they're willing to show. Shadow Demon, the next pickup here from the side of Cal, Berkeley, I should say. And an excellent hero. A hero that has seen a lot of, like Nyx Assassin, has seen a resurgence of popularity primarily for a few reasons. Number one, in the tri-lane, he is absolutely disgusting. Disruption to set up something like an Illuminate, which you see the Keeper of Light being picked up, is absolutely, it's gross. And Soul Catcher, of course, amplifying that damage. And if you get a hero like Luna, you amplify the damage of a Lucent Beam Strike, it could be pretty devastating early on into the game at level 2 or level 3. Now, the problem is, these 2 heroes are exceptionally squishy. Shadow Demon more so because, of course, Keeper of the Light is going to be sitting back in the lane. He's just going to be charging his lasers the entire time. And it allows for, yes, you can play aggressively with these two heroes, but you also have to be careful. You need to get um, some sort of strength or some sort of just any way you can get yourself to be a little bit more tanky, whether through an All Talisman or a Bracer, I think is absolutely imperative. Now, Keeper of the Light will probably be going for the mech here, I'd imagine. I think Shadow Demon will be played in that hard support role, and the Keeper of the Light will be played in that sort of, he'll be the one pulling, he'll be the one rotating, and I'm sure they're going to rotate together and try to find kills, especially in the mid lane. But it's something that we'll have to see how it works out. Now, this tri-lane could work extraordinarily well, depending on who they put with it. Like a Luna, like a Sven, something like that. Or it could flounder because of just how squishy these two heroes are. And now, Tidehunter will be picked up here from the side of UCSF. And what I like about this lineup here from the side of San Francisco is you don't really know how it's going to be landed because Lone Druid can be put in many different situations. I don't think they're going to put him in a tri-lane just because he works so well in an off-lane, but then again, that means that you want to pick up another hero to sort of be that number one role, that hard carry role. You rely with the Lone Druid for a little bit of damage, and you hope he can get some farm, but then you have a tri-lane with Rubik and Tidehunter and another hero, and I think that might be what they're trying to go for here. And it's something that we used to see a lot too. You used to see the Lone Druid in the off lane, and you saw a tri lane come out with a different carry, and I think it could work really well. Now, I don't want to say that's what's going to happen, but that certainly is a possibility. We're going to be in the next bands here real quick. Man, chat is quiet. You guys you're just on the ball today. Let's see some cheering. Come on. Let's get excited. Let's get hype. Next band is going to be the Clinks band here from the side of UC Berkeley, and I like this band because it means that you can put Clinks in a tri-lane, and I think that's something that a lot of people don't really necessarily do, just because they prefer to send Clinks in an off-lane position just because they think that since he has invisibility, he can get away with it, and he's very fast with Skeleton Walk too, or Ghost Walk, or whatever it's called, but I find that Clinks, more often than not, requires that farm, and he can't always get it if he's up against, a tri-lane, if he's in that really rough position. Now, he's banned, so obviously that's not going to be available, and then the Sven ban coming out from UCSF, so there's still a few more carries in the pool, but Sven is one that's seen a lot of play recently, but it's sort of been like, there was this time when Sven was like the ultimate carry, and he was picked in almost every game, and it was right around DreamHack. And people had just they really enjoyed that play style, and it worked really well, but people started figuring out how to counter this hero, and eventually he sort of, not necessarily, he hasn't lost, he hasn't stopped being played, but there's a lot of heroes that are picked over him, I think, in terms of carries right now. I mean, Luna is a good example. Lifestealer even is another good example, and of course Lifestealer is going to be banned out here, and then the Bounty Hunter. I think Luna will be the pickup here from Berkeley. I'd be very surprised to see it anything else. We could see something like a Faceless Void, but that doesn't necessarily give you the most amount of damage in a tri-lane early on, at least. So I'm not sure what they're going to pick up here. I say confidently that they'll pick up a Luna, but I could be wrong. Now, they do have a minute 13 left on reserve time, so they've got plenty of time to really discuss it and see how it would work. Now, if we're going tri-lane versus tri-lane here, you still don't know if UCSF is going to add another carry to that tri-lane with Rubik and Tidehunter, or if they will go with a Lone Druid. So if you're looking at it, Lone Druid, Rubik, and Tidehunter, I think that you give the advantage certainly to the Shadow Demon, Keeper of Light, and whatever they decide to go for. And just because the only disable that they have really is Rubik. You have the slow from Tidehunter, Anchor Smash, as well as a bit of damage, and the Lone Druid can provide some damage. But I don't think that it's really enough. So, and that's why I say they don't do that tri-lane. I don't think Lone Druid is going to be a part of that. I think they'll get another carry here. And the fact that Luna wasn't picked up here by Berkeley is not necessarily a mistake, but surprising. I think the Queen of Pain pickup is nice, though. It does give you that mid-lane presence. And I apologize for any sort of nasal sounding voice issues. Keep in mind, I had surgery on my nose a week and a half ago, and I'm still recovering, so there's that. Disruptor pickup here from UCSF. So I'm not entirely sure how they're going to lane this. They could go dual lanes, things of that nature. Somebody said based lottery in chat. Yes. The last time I casted UC Berkeley, Ray Lottery became Based Lottery. Hashtag Based Lottery. I love that. I love that so much. I think that's great. I just wish there were more viewers to appreciate the goodness that is Based Lottery. Akiri, I have no effect on the outcome of this game, unfortunately. Phantom Lancer. Ah, I completely forgot about that pickup. That's what... Oh, man. How could I forget about Phantom Lancer Codal? Wow, I feel like an idiot. That is such a strong lane. That is one of the best tri-lanes you can run, I think. Just because you can Chakra Magic the Spirit Lance until you kill everything. And so UCSF here has a bit of an interesting lineup. They'll probably send Soy Rico Suave into the mid lane on that Tinker, I'd imagine, and then run a tri-lane with Rubik, Tidehunter, and Disruptor, which is good because it provides you a little bit more crowd control with this Disruptor pickup. The Tidehunter as well. I mean, I'm not sure because these are 3 supports. You need the Tidehunter to get levels, and I mean, you need these 2 to get something. And the Lone Druid will maybe go in the off lane. I'm not 100% sure how they're going to lane this, so we'll have to just wait and see once we get in the game. Once again, thanks for joining us here today. It is a glorious afternoon for the Collegiate Dota League. This is the finals of the West Bracket. Whoever wins this best-of-5 series will go on to face either University of Toronto, and actually University of Toronto is waiting for a semifinal game in the Eastern Bracket between Bulba's UNC and Dollhouse, or I don't know how to pronounce the name, University. Dollhouse, something like that. And so whoever wins this game, this series, will go on to face one of those 3 teams in the grand finals. That is a best of 5 in that grand final. So looking at the lanes right now for the side of UC Berkeley, we're going to check it out. Ray Lottery will be up on that Shadow Demon heading bottom. We're going to see Fox on the Keeper of the Light heading bottom as well. And finally, Primetime heading down there on that Phantom Lancer. Heading up to the top lane, we'll see Wolfen on that Darkseer. And finally in the mid lane, Fan, the easiest name possible, on the Queen of Pain. Up in the top lane, 5-man gank style for the side of UCSF. We've got de-essing lasers on the Disruptor. Robosaurus will be on the Rubik. Soy Rico Suave will be on the Tinker. The Big Head will be on the Lone Druid. And finally, ZZZ will be on the Tidehunter. And a little bit of chat. Let's make sure this is going nicely. Unpause going in. And so this is just like, this is easy to call out and to see, you know, who's going where in terms of what lane. Now, just because the laning setups are predictable doesn't mean that it's bad. In fact, this is probably one of the strongest tri-lanes out there, I'd imagine, just because this guy plus this guy is pretty ridiculous. Now, on top of that, you have somebody that can create illusions that do damage, as well as Soul Catcher. I don't know what you mean by PG-13, but I don't think it matters. And Based Lottery here, of course, with the 2 Observer Wards. Looks like he'll be playing that sort of heart support role. Fox going with Sentries. I just learned the other day that the 5 role is Observer Wards and Chicken, and the 4 role is whatever else you need, like Sentries. Begins. And I lost the C9DL game because of that. So don't make that mistake. Make sure you know make sure you know what to buy whenever you're playing a certain role. That's what I learned. So looking at the lanes right now for the side of the Dire, for the side of UCSF, it will be Tinker mid, unsurprisingly. It looks like it's an off-lane Tidehunter, and they will throw up that defensive tri-lane with the Lone Druid, surprisingly enough. So Darkseer might have his hands full up here. Of course, this is a really great Observer Ward. I love that placement there. The Bear is actually going to try to pull for the side of the Tidehunter. Will he be able to do so is the question. They're picking this out. They know they're coming. They know the Bear is coming. The question is, will they be able to kill it? Will they want to kill it? I mean, it's very difficult. You think about 1,400 life at this level is really annoying. And he will get that pull off, and we'll have to see if that does... if they kill this Bear, there's nobody else actually trying to help out here. I mean, you can see Fox is just sitting here. Primetime is actually getting... he'll be getting a few last hits of his own. He's already got 4 right now, so he's doing pretty well for himself. And up here in the top lane, it will be Ion Shell first for Wolfen. Usually you see that surge, especially if you're against the tri-lane. But it's not happening right now. We do see the small creep camp being pulled here from the side of de-essing lasers. 5 last hits going for both carries right now. Pretty even. Mid lane, Tinker taking a bit of harass, and this is going to be a tough time. He does have that laser, but level 1 and right around, you know, this time period, Queen of Pain I think will excel, especially with that Shadow Strike. But we'll have to see how the last hits go here. 4 going on the side of the Queen of Pain right now. Top lane, you can see Wolfen doing okay. He's got 2 last hits right now. Surprisingly, 3 for the Tidehunter, so he's having a pretty good time. So ZZZ getting some experience, getting some gold as well. Not bad. Of course, Primetime is here. He's got Spirit Lance and Doppel Walk right now. No kills being set up just yet. Harassment coming out from the side of Base Lottery. And he will harass the Tidehunter out of the lane for the moment. In the mid lane, more right clicks are being traded. As you can see, Fan is taking a bit of damage. This Courier was very brave for a second. And he will deliver the bottle to Fan. Meanwhile, Soy Rico Suave will purchase up one of his own and have it sent to him. Top lane, the Bear taking a bit of damage from that Iron Shell. Very annoying. Looking for Wolfen here. He'll just be on his way out of the jungle. He's okay for now. And not a whole lot of harassment, so it's not aggressive tri-lane versus tri-lane. We're probably not going to see any kill, you know, I'd imagine, at least for another few minutes here, unless there's a mistake made by either of the offlaners. I don't think it'll be made by the Darkseer. It's very hard to die with even 1 point of Surge. Now, I mean, they have 1 stun. If you have the Entangling Claws on the Spirit Bearer, it's probably a little bit easier to get a kill there, but you have to rely on procs and things of that nature. Already Iron Shell, though, doing a bit of harass, and if he can get a kill here against this tri-lane, I'd be very surprised, and Wolfen would be in a great position to do so. ZZZ, if he gets even a little close, I think that he'll probably go down, just because they'll have that Illuminate setup. Fox is actually stacking this. I've never seen this stacked before. I've seen this pulled, and then again, this is actually, this creep is still alive, so I understand why he's stacking that camp. Never mind, so everything normal there. Soy Rico Suave getting his courier delivered to him with the Wicked Greevil. Of course, it is flying, as you can see. And Fan with a haste rune bottle up right now. He's going to try to get some more last hits. You can see he's got 10 right now. He is, in fact, winning this lane currently. But this is what you're going to see is March is being leveled first here for Tinker, which will allow him some more last-standing ability, and even gets that siege creep because of it. So Wolfen taking actually a bit of damage up here. He's going to get telekinesis right now. There's not a whole lot of follow-up. That bear is actually very close to dying. He has to back it off. But now he's actually chasing after Grobosaurus. That is not going to be in time for the kinetic field. And now Grobosaurus just going to barely survive. No, he will go down. That will be first blood. And now Wolfen, though, might pay with his life. No, that is not the last hit. He's got 20 HP. He'll be able to surge out of here and get away just fine. Meanwhile, down in the bottom lane, Tidehunter taking more damage. He's got the Soul Catcher on him. There's the Spirit Lance. This should be the kill down here. Can Berkeley do it is the question. They might dive this. Prime time, 1 second for that Spirit Lance. He will go for it, and that will get the kill. Now Base Lottery taking a bit of damage. He will survive just barely, but Berkeley already in a great position. They've got 2-0, and of course this lane's so strong. And Wolfen on that Darkseer, just making Brobosaurus pay for his mistakes. Just staying too close to the Iron Shell. And Tinker now, level 4 here. Queen of Pain, probably level 5 I'd imagine, with an invisibility rune. So rune control going solely in favor of the Queen of Pain. They do have 1 ward up right now. Nothing up in the top rune spot. ZZZ is here. He's level 2, not doing the best, but of course, as long as he can get to level 6, he's fine. He's at level 3 right now, so he's halfway there. Wolfen, on the other hand, level 4, so he's not too far ahead. And what I've seen happen here with Tidehunters in this lane especially is they'll make a little spot here with a Quelling Blade or something, or just tangos, and they'll just leech experience from the side of the lane without them having to be caught out. And I think that would be a good position. But it's a little bit more difficult. You have to get to the lane early. Yeah. So, this Observer Ward will run out, and they will lose vision of this tower here. Rotating down into the top rune position is going to be Brobosaurus. He's going to ward up this rune spot here. Pretty standard ward location, I'd say. Usually I like to place it up here on the high ground for the dire side, but that's a very predictable location. So, that's just my thoughts on the matter. This Greevil is voracious, apparently. I didn't really play the Greeveling, so I don't know what's what. Base Lottery will look to ward up, I imagine. He's going to wait for this to run out. Yeah, he's just going to put one on top there. Van taking some damage from the Marching Machines. He's got no mana for Sonic Wave. He actually does not have rune control right now. 6 minutes, the rune does spawn. It's going to be babysat by ZZZ. There's going to be disruption, and Soul Catcher as well. Ray Lottery is just going to pick it up, making sure that ZZZ can't take it. I know they wanted the Queen of Pain to get that, but you can Bottle Crow. That is an option available. looking at the last hits right now, 40 for the Phantom Lancer, who is, wow, that is a lot. I have not been paying attention to his last hits, to his CS, but that is kind of a lot at 6 minutes into the game. So already, I think probably the Phantom Lancer has a better time carrying than the Lone Druid. The Lone Druid requires quite a bit of farm, I think, but if you get that farm, he can be scary. He does have that Midas. It will allow him to out-last hit. Not, excuse me, out farm, not out last hit, out GPM essentially the Phantom Lancer and allow him to get some more items. He's not even really that far behind. You can see he's got 39. Meanwhile, on the top lane, we will see Fan. He's going to come in there. There's going to be a Shadow Flake. Doesn't even need to waste the Sonic Wave. So Darkseer actually getting that kill, and Fan is here as well now. Lone Druid will not stray too far away from this tower, as well as Brobosaurus. He doesn't want to get dove on. Fan's going to head back to the mid lane. As you can see, Ray Lottery is here, leeching some experience. This is really just textbook play. Akiri, if you want to, yeah, that's a good point. I forgot to mention. If you guys want to check out the brackets or any other CDL info, you can check out collegiate.dotaleague.com. That is where everything is hosted for the time being. Meanwhile, on the top lane, we're going to see some initiation here onto Wolf, and he's taking a bit of damage. As well on the bottom lane, the Illuminate flying out, and the Phantom, or excuse me, the Spirit Lance from Primetime will get the kill. So 4-0 right now in terms of score. Still, it's rather skewed, I think, the score is. I mean, you have to wait and see. This Lone Druid requires quite a bit of farm, and if he can continue to get free farm, which he really is, especially with this Midas, he'll be in a really favorable position. But you have to also understand he does need to get boots for him and his bear realistically before he can really go for that Radiance, which would be at probably this stage of 15, 16, 17-minute Radiance. It depends on if he can continue getting this farm. Meanwhile, Ray Lottery is showing himself down here in this bottom
Dire's middle tower
rune
is
spot.
under attack.
And Fox rotating through. Fan will take up a haste rune and maybe, oh, Wolfen actually getting killed here in the top lane. Nice kinetic field. And there's the first kill on the board for the side of UCSF, but they do get punished with this Ion Shell. Just does so much damage. Of course, Fan is not going to venture up there, unfortunately. There is a lot of wards that did see him coming, I believe, from the Dire side. You can see this one there. Of course, this one. They're pinging him out right now. There's 3 mid, as you can see right now. So UC Berkeley is getting plenty of experience. This is what you need to do. You need to have your supports roaming around, getting that experience up, making sure they can really participate. You look at support levels here. They're level 5. The other supports for the side of the Dire are level 4 for the side of San Fran. So, I mean, it's not a huge gap in experience, but it certainly is enough to be noticeable. Meanwhile, on the bottom lane, you can see Primetime is here. Tinker's actually stacking the Ancients. Now, he has 1,000 gold in the bank. He is going to be trying to get those boots of travel. They're going to be a little bit late. Usually, you like to see them around 9 minutes, but regardless, he's had a decent time farming. As you can see, he's got about 24 last hits. Now, that's pretty close to what Queen of Pain has, so really the timing is not bad. Wolfen, meanwhile, on the top lane, going to get entangled. He's going to surge himself. There's a telekinesis in 13 seconds, and the surge is level 2, of course, but there might be one more last hit, and it will go. The Lone Druid getting the kill there, and that's exactly what you need, is a nice entangle proc, stopping that surge, the big head getting that extra gold. Really good stuff, so that is even going to make his Midas a little bit quicker as well. So nice job there to get that kill. Bottom lane, you can see 61 last hits at 9:39. Very good stuff for Primetime. He is in a very good position. Looks like it'll be a Diffusal Blade. Of course, as his first big item, he's got Tranquils, unsurprisingly. Generally a big pickup there just to stay in lane and farm. And really this is a hero that really needs to spend a lot of the game farming, otherwise he will not be nearly as effective as you want him to be. He can fight pretty early on, but to really assure your game, to really assure your victory, I should say, you need to be farming pretty consistently throughout the game, not trying to fight too much. It's not like necessarily like a Faceless Void where you can't really fight at all, or an Anti-Mage for that matter, for the first, 20 minutes. But it's something where you want to be farming in and out of lane pretty consistently. You have to know when you need to go in. You have to know when you can fight. Right now, you think about the levels and stuff like that. I mean, the advantage is obviously going to the side of the Radiant. If we look at the graphs here, or excuse me, well, yeah, I mean, still, Radiant having 1,000 experience advantage, 1,500 gold, which is nothing to shake your head at 1037. Wolfen is just sitting here, AFK for a second. He's got 700, almost 800 gold in the bank right now. ZZZ will continue to try to stack these Ancients up, but there is this nice little Observer Ward here, of course, blocking this camp from the Radiant side, from the side of Berkeley. So nice stuff there. Good placement. I think it was from Ray Lottery, so a very nice ward there. 1,000 gold in the bank for the Keeper of the Light. He'll probably want to farm up a mech, I'd imagine. I don't think that the Darkseer would do it, but we don't know yet necessarily. Usually when I play Codal, I like to farm up mech as my main core item, and I think you can get it rather quickly just because you can decimate creep waves. Even though you're in a lane with a carry, you don't necessarily always need to be sharing the farm. Like, this is a good example. Trying to push the wave. Boom, you get a few last hits doing that, and allows you to get a little bit more money than you normally would on a support. Rotating in is Soy Rico Suave. He's got 2 bottle charges. I don't know if they'll be able to stop this push. It looks like they will actually back off for the time being. Ray Lottery, of course, still very squishy. He's got a magic stick, but not a whole lot of tankiness. The same with Keeper of Light. Of course, 2 GG branches. I love this build. Getting 2 GG branches is a big deal. Here comes Martian Machines. This is going to push this back. Mid lane is in the meantime actually going to get taken by Fan. They were sort of protected in the bottom lane and not really worrying about the mid lane. So not the best move, I think, on the side of UCSF, but that's fine. They still have a long time here. This Lone Druid, of course, with that Midas is going to give them some time. Some time and some space, really. You look, he's got 2,200 gold in the bank, and it looks like he will be trying to rush that Radiance pretty quickly. And that's a pretty big deal. I mean, these are some squishy heroes on the side of the Radiance. So if they can get that Radiance up quickly, they could easily turn this game around. And it's certainly not really far behind. I mean, experience is almost negligible right now. The gold, however, is starting to escalate. ZZZ is getting some damage on him. The Spirit Lance, and they actually might dive this to kill him. Fan is here as well, and that's going to be the end of him. That Scream of Pain right there is going to do the job. So nice play by UC Berkeley. Excellent ward there. That aggressive just ward placement, just making sure they know when the TPs are coming, when they're rotating through the secret trap area. I love that ward. I think it's one of the best wards in the game. And they will take this bottom tower, and that will be the second tower of the game. Meanwhile, top, being pushed just a little bit. Iron Shield doing a bit of damage. The Bear tanking up a lot of it, however. Looking for an integral proc, will get it. There's going to be a telekinesis at the same time. Wolfen's going to get fade bolted, and that will be a kill. Going for the big head once again. He's got about 3,000 gold. He cannot afford to die, however. He's going to send his Bear on Fan, hoping for a lucky entangle proc. The big head going to try to turn around and fight. Fan has his Sonic Wave. Bulbasaur is taking a bit of damage, and now TPing coming out from the side of the big head. He will be able to make it out alive, and I imagine he will do so. And so he stays alive. They lose Bulbasaur, but still the kill going to the side. And now de-icing Laser's in a very bad position. He's going to go down. Shadow Demon will get that kill. And 7-3. And they're going to try to take this tower top 2, I'd imagine. Still only about 1,000 gold in experience difference. You look at gold, it's about 4,000, heading upwards towards 5,000. And now, still though, you cannot count this guy out here. He's 1,000 away from his Sacred Relic, and then, of course, after that, you need to get that recipe for the Radiance. Top tower should be taken here. Nice pushing potential coming out from the side of Berkeley, and they are playing pretty strongly. And I talked about this lane down the bottom lane. Now, they didn't get a ton of kills. You look at the Tide Hunter. He died 3 times. Yeah, that's a lot. I mean, you can have worse off lanes. You know, it's not like they absolutely massacred him, but they did their job. They did what they were supposed to do with that lane. You have such a strong tri-lane, you need to get some sort of advantage. They did. They got 3 kills. That's enough. I mean, you got 89 last hits within about 14 minutes of the game. And Lone Druid is not even farming poorly. So the Phantom Lancer is actually just barely ahead of the Lone Druid right now, just because the Lone Druid, you look at his net worth, and this is without any sort of item right now, any big item I should say. He's got the Midas, which is providing him a little bit of extra net worth, but the gold is really what's providing him a lot of it. He does need to get that Sacred Relic. It should be coming soon. The Radiance will be about 17 minutes, assuming everything goes well. I imagine it'll be about 17 minutes. Meanwhile, de-icing Laser's in a very bad position. Of course, that nice Radiant Ward giving them vision, and he's going to just get obliterated by the Vacuum and Iron Shield. He's just too squishy. Bulbasaurus now going to get hit with a Scream of Pain. He will go down as well. Fan on a killing spree right now. And it's 9-3. They're just making sure they take this lead into the middle game. They'll continue pushing, maybe continue trying to gather towers here. The big head, of course, he's very, very close to a Sacred Relic. He needs to be careful, though. He can get ganked very easily. You see how far this lane is pushed out here in comparison to where their closest ward is. I don't even know if they know that Wolfen is right around here in their jungle. Ray Lottery, of course, they could see in this lane. So he does have to be careful, of course. He's rather tanky, and he's got a Bear, which will allow him to get away from 1 or maybe even 2 heroes, but still, you really cannot provide... I mean, he's got no disable to save himself, really. He can't get out of it super easily if he gets ganked, so he does have 3,800 in the bank right now. He can buy up that... he can buy up that Sacred Relic if he chooses to do so. TP's coming into the top lane. The big head, he needs to get out now. If he dies here, this is going to be a huge waste. He cannot afford to die. He has to fly that courier out there right now. He's actually going to TP back. Is there a disable? Not in time. So, wow, that could have been very, very devastating. If he goes down there, that's a pushback Radiance, which he really can't afford right now, the way his team is in dire straits. Good thing is, level 8 for the Tide Hunter. He's got Ravage available, which is something we haven't seen yet this entire game. Boots of Travel are finished up for the Tinker. Now comes the game of just patience from the side of UCSF. they've got this sort of ability to TP around the map, push back the oncoming creep waves, and make it a little bit more difficult for them to take towers, the side of Berkeley to take towers. Now, with that relic completed, and I'm sure put on the bear, this provides, it's going to be maybe 18 minutes now, I think, for, maybe I was wrong. Meanwhile, Ray Lottery taking a bit of damage, is going to disrupt, but there's a laser going on. Soul Catcher as well. Bulbasaur is going to use his Fade Bolt. Ray Lottery, spell is stolen, not sure what it was. I think it's Soul Catcher, in fact, was a great spell to steal, actually. That's a huge spell to steal. Soul Catcher level 4, that could be devastating. There's going to be Screaming Pain coming in, DSing lasers in some trouble. The Static Storm is there. Fan might be in some trouble. There's going to be the Blinding Light as well. Nice vacuum, no wall. Wolfen going to get ravaged up right now. He's in some trouble. There's going to be Telekinesis as well. He might go down. And that's a 3-for-1 trade right there. Nice job going in from the side of UCSF. Soyuriko Suave is going to get hit up by a Illuminate charge, but he will use his bottle charge and he'll be just fine. Mid lane, you can see Primetime is here with Fox. Mech is going to be the choice for the Keeper of the Light. I believe he's got a headdress, so I mean, that's one part of it. You do need the buckler, or he could go for pipe. He has that option. Looking at what Ray Lottery is going for, nothing at this point in time. I want to see Darkshire. What do you have on you? He will probably be going for the pipe. As you can see, this cloak plus the Ring of Health will be finished up. So that is a Hood of Defiance, which does lead into the Pipe of Insight. That spell resistance so critical, especially against this kind of team with Ravage, March, Static Storm, Fade Bolt, nothing. I mean, it's nice to have. Actually, is Entangle magic damage? I want to... Where are you? Nope, it's physical. Okay, so nothing. Fox continuing to pressure the mid lane with his Illuminate like a good Keeper of the Light does. Can I just say that I've been playing Keeper of the Light for the past, like, 2 weeks, like, almost in every game in matchmaking, and I don't want to say he's broken, but he's pretty good. I kind of, like, want to say he's broken, because he's really strong, but you still can lose games with him. That's just my expert analysis. Meanwhile, Tinker's going to TP up here on the top lane. They want to try to take this tower. Primetime is up here alone, going for Yasha. Wow, his farm is increased exponentially. He's got that Yasha with that Vitality booster. Phantom Lancer's farm is going pretty well. You look at the net worth chart here. We do see, actually, the big head leading the way. He will be able to get that Radiance now. It should be enough. I think it's 100 gold, and he should have it. And this tower will go down, in fact. So, tower is taken. Mid-tower is getting pressured. Meanwhile, on the side of Berkeley, TP coming in. This time from the side of the Tidehunter. Ravage probably not available. No, it is not. Oh, the Glimpse coming actually in from the Shadow Demon, who does soul disrupt himself. Ray Lottery now in some trouble. He will go down. Lasers will do the job there. Excuse me, Rocket's doing the job for Soyuriko Swap. He'll get a nice little kill there down in the bottom lane. Meanwhile, there's still pressure coming in from the side of Berkeley. So they're all over the map, trying to split push as much as possible, which is what you need to do against this lineup, which you have this global presence. Soyuriko Suave is going to run in here, going to use his March. This tower is rather low, though, which is unfortunate because it will get pushed down pretty quickly. And Fan is here, going for Aghanim Scepter up on that Queen of Pain. No BKBs just yet for anybody, I don't think. Looking at the item graph here, we already talked about Primetime. Fox very close to finishing up his mech. Radiance is on that Lone Druid. I'm assuming it's on the Bear. Boots of Travel on Soyuriko Suave. Not a whole lot on the side of Dire in terms of items, but that'll start changing, assuming they win fights. I mean, they have the potential to win fights now. You look at the levels for the heroes. I mean, these two are still very squishy. And Radiant's Bear, by the way, and he's at level 14 too, is something to really consider. It's very strong, I think. Looking at the last hits right now, still 157. So, like I was saying, Primetime has not stopped farming really this entire game. He's going to continue to try to farm and get his six slot of items finished. I mean, he's doing a pretty good job so far. I mean, he's got 1, 2 at least. This will probably turn into a Mantis style before the game is over. This will turn into a Heart, I'd have to imagine. And then whatever else he can finish up. I mean, Daedalus, you know, there's a whole lot of items you can go here on this Phantom Lancer. I'm not sure what we'll see next. He'll probably finish one of these 2 items, I'd imagine. I could be wrong, but checking out the net worth. Lone Druid is leading the way, but not by a whole lot. Only by a few hundred, 200, I think. Midas is on the Bear right now with the Radiance, of course, giving him that extra attack speed. I mean, the Druid himself doesn't really need anything until the later points in the game when the Bear starts losing his effectiveness. He's going to continue to try to push the lane as well as farm. Mid lane, you can see Fox charging up Illuminate. Here, ZZZ might get hit up with it, and that'll be a lot of damage. Yes, it will be. And wow, that was really well timed. Fan coming in there with the Sonic Wave, getting the kill. Scream Pain being used as well. ZZZ not being in the best position. But top lane is still being pressured right now. They're going to TP in here, and no harm, no foul. Not a whole lot of damage coming into this tower. TP coming back into the tier 2. Lone Druid staying away, recalling his bear as well. Doesn't want that to go down. Free gold would be going the way of Berkeley. Bottom lane, we can see right now Ray Lottery and Primetime still trying to pressure this. 2,300 gold on the Phantom Lancer currently. Need a bit more for that Reaver if he wants to go for that hard Trask. He's not going for ratings or anything like that. He can if he wants to, but it's a little late, I think. Usually you go for ratings for the first item. It's usually either ratings or Defusal. He chose Defusal. I think that's the correct choice in this regard. Blink Dagger finished up for the Tinker. So looking for more mobility. Usually you see a Force Staff instead. Still, I like that because it allows you to get better positioning. And with the recent Force Staff nerf, I can see why you'd want to go for a Blink Dagger instead.
Haste!
And Boot's going to be finished up for the regular Bear. And I thought he already had them, so. Regardless, looking at the graphs, about 2,000 experience difference, pretty negligible at 22 minutes in the game. 5,000 in terms of gold going in the favor of the Radiant, but if the Dire can win some team fights and pushing towers, they'll be in a good position. This is certainly going to help right here. They're not, the Radiant side is not, they don't have vision of this. So Soy Rico Suave will be able to get some farm of his own. And Arcane Boots will go as well. He can actually just take it back home if he needs to. He does take care of most of these groups here. There's 3 big ones left. Well, 2 big ones. He will TP out, regen up, and then probably finish those guys off. Mid lane, Big Head is here, along with the rest of his team, really. Taking some damage from that Illuminate. Boots did actually a Hyperstone going on the Spirit Bear right now, so the next choice could be a Mjolnir or an AC, or just a casual Hyperstone. We see that occasionally from time to time. De-Essing Lasers trying desperately for that mech. ZZZ going for seems to be a cloak into a pipe. Robosaurus, of course, playing that hard support role. He's got not a whole lot here. Observer Ward, Dire Placement. There's a lot of vision around this mid lane. You can see these wards here. TP can come into the mid lane right now. Fox is doing a lot of damage here with that Illuminate. And ZZZ is just taking it to the face, but of course he does have that cloak, which does give you that 15% spell resistance, which is nice stuff there. And they're thinking about going right now, but they don't have, of course, Soy Rico Suave. He's going to head top and try to pressure Primetime out of this lane. 3,100 gold in the bank for him. He will probably be going for that hard, I'd imagine, getting that Reaver next item. Primetime going to stay up here in the top jungle. Might see an engagement here. This bear is actually rather low. Cannot be recreated for another 35 seconds. This bear goes down, it's not good. I mean, he's fighting at about 382 HP. They cannot fight right now, and he realizes this. They're going to back off for the time being.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
So nice play there. Good defense coming from the side of UC Berkeley, and a smoke coming out from Fox as well as Ray Lottery. Fan got it as well. We'll see if they decide to make any sort of decisions here. They're going to counter ward. Fox does use his smoke for that. Primetime getting out of there. He has not died this entire game. He's not been ganked, really. It's very difficult to do that. I mean, Phantom Lancer, of course, actually it's not really that difficult, but still it's more annoying than anything, I'd have to say, especially with this lineup that they're running up against. If he's running with anybody in terms of, like, if he's got the Shadow Demon near him and allows him to disrupt him and save his life for the time being, I think it could be important to note that. I mean, Primetime just really has the best escape, one of the best escape mechanisms in the game. Because you never really know if he's doppel walking. When you see an invisible hero go invisible, like the Clinks or like the Bounty Hunter, you're like, oh, they're invisible. I guess we should dust now. Like, it's not necessarily the same thing. You can get juked pretty hard from
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
a Phantom Lancer, but that's just my opinion anyway. We're going to see a smoke gank, a wraparound gank coming here from the side of the Dire. Can they make this work? Ray Lottery backing off immediately. They saw this, I think, with some sort of ward, perhaps. I don't know. They're backing off immediately, though, looking like they know what's going on right now. Will they catch them is the question. This bear chasing after Fan desperately. And there's going to be a blink coming in from Soy Rico Suave. They want to try to get somebody here. Looks like they're going to go after Fan. He is not silenced. This is going to be tough. They need to telekinesis him. He will do so. Will they be able to get the Entangle? They're going with the Ravage as well, just to get that one kill. They used the entire house, essentially, except for that Static Storm, to get that kill. They do get it, though. An important pickup. Meanwhile, Illusion, I thought that was the real one, running in there for a second. Fox TPing out, realizing he's in a bad position. Soy Rico Suave trying to defend this bottom lane here. You can see the March going out, doing a decent bit of damage here. Wolfman, I have not seen a wall replica yet this entire game. He does have his Pipe of Insight available, which is nice. Might see some counter warding. Nope, there's no ward down here. Good counter ward. This is a nice ward placement, but I don't know if you need this many around this area. I think you want to expand it. Regardless, they are in a really favorable position. However, if this tower is taken, they could be in a bad position. But now a TP coming in, there is going to be that disruption onto the big head. However, they will get the kill on the Shadow Demon immediately. That they're doing so much damage. The tower will in fact go down. Lone Druid getting the kill on both the Shadow Demon and the tower. Fox will back off for the time being. Oh, the big head in some trouble. He's taking a bit of damage. Fan wants to chase him. There's going to be... actually, wow, I think that that almost saved his life. That glimpse. Couldn't think of the name. There's the wall replica coming up. Wolfen getting entangled there by the bear. ZZZ helping get that kill. Rubik getting the kill. However, the Lone Druid does go down. Fox now getting chased, as you can see. ZZZ taking a bit of damage from that Iron Shell Bulbasaurus as well. Trying not to stand next to him. They will get the kill. So Rubik while they're getting it with the heat-seeking missiles. And I think that was a 4 for 2 trade there. So UCSF coming up on the winning end of that. However, they did lose their Lone Druid. Not the biggest deal in the world. It looks like he's going for that AC. As you can see, he does need that plate mail unless he's already got it on the bear, which I'm not 100% sure about. 3,000 experience, heading back down. A little bit closer to even right now. Gold is about 5,000, still dropping as well. So a nice victory there for the side of UCSF, but they need a few more fights like that to really be back in the game, I think. And once again, this is game number 1 of a best-of-5 series between UC Berkeley as well as San Francisco. 2 Bay Area teams, all the way over there in California. Of course, I say all the way over there because I am in New York. That's halfway across the world, at least for me anyways. Based lottery, he's got 2 smokes up on him rather than the usual 1. He's got arcanes as well, so he's not doing too poorly for hard support, I think. He's got the lowest amount of net worth, but not by much, only by about a few hundred gold, as you can see. So he's doing okay. And the disruptions have been really great. Now, this is also interesting to note. He's only got level 1 of disruption, which is not... I think that's a very smart pickup because Shadow Poison does quite a bit of damage. It stacks up to 65 at its max level, as you can see, which I think is quite a bit. So when you release it, depending on how many charges you have, it could be dealing upwards of 300 damage. Meanwhile, there's going to be a Sonic Wave up onto Bulbasaurus. He's going to be taking a bit of damage. Fan trying to get out now, realizing he's in a bad position. There's going to be heat-seeking missiles. Primetime also in a bad position. Bulbasaur is actually going to go down. The Phantom Lancer getting that kill. He does have the Heart of Tarrasque. Talking about what he did finish up there. He did finish up the Heart of Tarrasque. He also has that Yasha and the Diffuse Blade, which we talked about earlier. And now on the backside coming in is Fan. They're looking for a fight here. There's going to be Ravage being used. Static Storm as well. A good Static Storm there. They're trying to get out. The pipe is popped right now. Mech going as well. Fan gonna get, oh, nice vacuum doing a bit of damage as well. The wall replica going down, and now the big head has to retreat. 3 for nothing right now. There's a nice diffuse blade being used. The bear should go down here. The big head will in fact go down. Double kill for Fan. Soy Rico Swap is gonna get mana leaked. Fan is trying to chase as well. No mana for Soy Rico Swap. He cannot get out. He's got bottle charges, but he actually will get the kill on the Queen of Pain, but he will go down in turn. So what I think was a 2 for 5 trade, an entire team wipe coming out from the side of Berkeley. So strong. That is not the fight that you wanted from UCSF. I forget who went down immediately on the side of UCSF to really start that fight off. They got the kill on Bulbasaurus with the Phantom Lancer, I believe, and he was not available for that fight. Actually, did he buy back? I don't think he did. I want to check and make sure that yeah, he didn't buy back. Okay, so I'm not crazy. So a very good fight going for Berkeley. That's going to give them a big advantage here, especially if they can get this Roshan. Now, I mean, you see how much that skyrockets the XP graph. As well as the gold too. 10,000 is like it jumped from essentially 4,000 to a few minutes ago to 10,000 after that fight. I mean, that's a huge fight, and that's going to provide Phantom Lancer that Eagle Song, which will be made into a butterfly eventually. Braid Lottery getting a little bit more farm out of that. A Ring of Regen at least, and possibly a Force Staff when he can get there. Looking at Wolfen, he's finished up his play already. He's got a plate mail. I imagine it will be a Shiva's Guard. Fox, of course, got a mech. He's going for a Force Staff as well. Probably he has that Staff of Wizardry. Fan. Aghanim Scepter was done. Now he's got an Open Club. BKB will be next. There's the Phantom Lancer Aegis, and that is difficult to deal with for sure. He's got his Heart too, which means he doesn't even need to go back home. He could just regen by jungling, essentially. And it's starting to be the point where this Radiance is losing its effectiveness. Now, he will have the Assault Cuirass, which will help his team immensely. Well, you think about right-click damage, he's really the only one providing it. So I think it will help him a lot. Don't get me wrong. The Hypersone, the extra armor, of course, it's very nice to have. thinking about out carrying. I mean, he's a little down in terms of net worth, but that will catch up once this plate mail does fly out to him and is on him. I want to see levels as well. He's actually down 2 levels, surprisingly enough. Even though he has a Midas that he's been using on cooldown the entire game, he's down 2 levels. Of course, he's died 2 times in comparison to the Phantom Lancer, who's died none. And he has an Aegis, as well as 6 kills. I mean, the Phantom Lancer right now is just balling out of control for all intents and purposes. He's absolutely just... He's doing what a good Phantom Lancer should do. And many times, at least from what I've seen recently, is Phantom Lancer's probably going to become one of the new carries, I think. In terms of the metagame, if he hasn't already. Now, I haven't seen, to my credit, I haven't seen too much really competitive Dota recently, but I think that Phantom Lancer could be used very effectively. Not because he's got a good escape mechanism, but because he can farm effectively, he can push lanes pretty ridiculously, and he could kill you really early with Spirit Lance, given the right tri lane, and I think that people are starting to realize this. I've seen a lot in North American in-houses for anyone that plays C9DL. I'm sure there's a few of you that are watching. DD is going to be picked up by the Lone Druid, and they're going to head mid right now. And you can see how much harassment these illusions are doing. And these are without a Manta style, too. So, given a Manta style, this could be even more aggressive and even more annoying to deal with. Top lane pressure coming in from the side of UC Berkeley. They're all here. They're going to go for a kill on something. They're meeting them in the middle here. You can see Fan getting Radianced up there. Spirit Bear is going to check this out, knows what's happening. Primetime trying to take this down. Illuminate going to fly out from the backside. There's going to be a kinetic field as well. De-Essing Laser's getting hit. Oh, he is going to go down. That Sonic Wave being used specifically for him on the backside. Mech is going to be popped up. Pipe as well. They're going to try to dive this for the time being. Primetime is here alone, however. There's the Ravage going off as well. They need to get some semblance of a kill here. There's going to be Wall Replica. Not going to hit, though, that vacuum. Primetime still chasing. 2 for nothing right now. And Primetime can afford to dive this. Looking for a kill on ZZZ, but the nice entangle. That will be that Aegis pop, and maybe even more, because he dove so far. And Soyrico Suave is here on the backside. Can they get the kills? The question, Primetime is going to get out with that Doppelwalk just fine. He should be good to go. 2 for nothing. Not as much as they really wanted, but still they accomplished their goal in getting some kills and taking a tower as well on the backside. Of course, the support's going the side of UCSF, but the big head not going down, which is pretty important. However, not turning into any kills is really the big deal. You need kills for this guy to get some farm desperately. And, of course, the Aegis pop is nice, but not necessarily what you want. Obviously, you want to get kills. I mean, this is Dota, so... This is, in fact, Game 1 of a best-of-5 series here between San Francisco, the Dire side, and, of course, UC Berkeley on the Radiant side. Based lottery, hashtag based lottery, type it in chat. He's been playing pretty well. I mean, the entire Radiant team has. I thought for sure that once this Radiance was completed for the Lone Druid, that there would be some trouble. And there was occasionally trouble for the side of the Radiant, but they were able to stick to their guns and play a pretty effective game. And it's still not over. I mean, if you can get some more farm here on this guy right here, it could go pretty well for you. But the thing is, this is starting to lose effectiveness right here. Well, a lot of the team fighting spells are, because you have all of your items. You have a pipe, you have a mech. What I'm surprised I haven't seen yet is a Drum of Endurance, which would even further your team fighting ability. I'm sure we'll see it sooner rather than later. I mean, Primetime has finished up his Butterfly too, which is a sign that things are starting to really snowball in the way of the Radiant side. So we'll have to see how this does play out. It is 34 minutes into the game. And, I mean, the big head, of course, still trying to farm, and I don't blame him. I don't know where his bear is. I think he's actually regenning for the time being. He will be recalled, as you can see. The big head has 1,500 gold in the bank. He can buy something relatively soon, unless it's on the courier flying out to him right now. No, there's a smoke and a sentry ward as well, so it looks like De-Essing Lasers is like, let's get something going here. Let's try to get a few kills, and they can do so. I mean, there's a few heroes grouped up mid. Primetime is here as well, and he's still, oh my god, that's a lot of health. And, like, evasion. Butterfly, 35% evasion. That's a lot of just not being able to kill the Phantom Lancer, which is already difficult enough with the Heart of Trash. So it's frustrating, I think, if you're on the side of San Francisco. Berkeley, though, playing a very strong game. Wolfen, he's done pretty well with his Iron Shell. Of course, you look back into the beginning of the game when he was in that lane against the tri-lane, and he got a solo kill up against Bulbasaurus and was able to escape with his life, essentially doing what most offlaners have trouble doing, which is not only surviving in the lane, but getting a kill. So I think that's really what started it off. That first blood and, of course, the kills down here on ZZZ. And that was really unavoidable if you're in the Tidehunter's position. You can't expect to get experience and not die in that lane. You have to, like... He really wanted to get that experience, and I don't blame him for it. You want to get level 6 when you're on that Tidehunter. So being down in that lane, that is a very tough lane to be up against. And for those of you that missed it in the beginning parts of the game, we had a Phantom Lancer, Shadow Demon, Keeper of Light tri-lane, and I want you to think about that for a second. If you're not used to tri-lanes or competitive Dota, you have somebody that can instantly replenish your mana, and a lot of mana at that, with somebody that has one of the most reliable nukes in the game, and Spirit Lance. I mean, you look how much damage it does. It also gives you 300 bonus damage to your illusions. It's 250 base nuke at level 4. And on top of that, you have a Shadow Demon, which is able to disrupt, which sets you up for an Illuminate proc, which does a lot of damage in its own right. 500 to be exact, at its max level. And its max amount of time being charged. So you have a lane that is so dominant in terms of offensive ability that it is very difficult to stay in there, especially in a dual lane or a single solo lane situation that you are expected to die. And he did, but he made the most of it. I think ZZZ played that pretty well, as you could on a Tidehunter. I mean, there's not a whole lot you can do in that lane. Regardless, he does have a Blink Dagger finished up, which is a nice item to have, especially this late into the game. Soy Rico Suave has been trying desperately. He does have this Scythe device. This could be a very strong pickup. Phantom Lancer probably won't be used against him just because his illusions do so much. I mean, you can, but I imagine it would be used against the Queen of Pain. But the Queen of Pain has a BKB, so you have to get it done right before that BKB charge is popped. And there's a lot of big ifs here that I'm talking about for San Francisco. What really needs to happen is they need to have a miraculous team fight, because they're pretty far down in terms of golden experience. You could see about 15,000 in terms of experience. Gold is more than that. So they're in quite a hole. I mean, you look at the levels here. Tidehunter is 13, which is tied with the other two supports, but 11, that's where it's really a problem. Is they just got their level 2 ults. They're really not tanky. I mean, you have the Bracer up on the Rubik, which is nice, the mech up on de-essing lasers, but it really is not enough against even just like the supports here, and Fan especially, as well as, of course, down here in the bottom lane, Primetime, who has everything he really needs. Getting Boots of Travel, has one more item slot. Aegis is gone. That's what it's going to be saved for the majority of the time. And now a Smoke Gang coming in here. Fan in some trouble. BKB might be popped. Static Storm before can go off there. There's the BKB going, blinking out, and they won't get the kill on Fan. However, this could be a big fight. Ray Lottery in some trouble. Will go down. Gem of True Sight being dropped also. That's big. I don't know why they should kill this, I think. They're actually gonna, oh no, they need that for Fan Flash. Excuse me. They don't need to kill that. Don't kill that. Don't listen to me. Pick that up. That's important. Top lane being pushed by Primetime in the meantime, and now we might see some pushing mid here. 4v5 action, not sure, but they actually have to defend this against the creep wave, including Primetime's Phantom Lancer images. But the big head is looking to go mid. You look at Roshan, he is up in 3 minutes. Fox now with that force staff, I talked about that earlier. Bottom lane being pressured by Fan. There's no tower here. He's not going to push up into the tier 3, or he will, but he won't be able to do a whole lot without them team pinging back. Level 21 for the Phantom Lancers, 39 minutes in the game. Doing pretty well for himself. They're trying to mount a defense here, 4v5 defense here. Of course, that Shadow Demon is available in 3 seconds, but now the big head taking some damage here from Fan, chasing with Scream of Pain. And another TP coming in. There's going to be a Glimpse coming in. De-essing Laser taking a lot of damage from Primetime, however. Primetime getting an easy kill there. ZZZ now in some trouble. There's Shiva's Guard going into the Wolf End. ZZZ going down for sure, again, up against that massive army of illusions from the side of Primetime. Now the big head is going to get focused next. He will go down. That is a triple kill for the Phantom Lancer. 73 seconds for the bear to be down. And on the backside, actually, Fan getting a kill with that Sonic Wave on the Rubik. The only one surviving, of course, Soy Rico Suave. But that is the beginning of the end, I believe. Down for 63 seconds. I'm sure he probably has a buyback. Absolutely does. But he's the only one, and they really cannot defend a Rax with just 2 people. So it may be difficult, to say the least. I think that's an understatement. They will probably take this tier 3, if not the Rax. I mean, the illusions will do a lot of the damage here. Still has that room for that Aegis, which Roshan will be up in about 10-20 seconds-ish. So tower's going to fall down in a second. TPing in is, of course, Soy Rico Suave. Maybe not the best position to TP in. Yeah, he's going to get immediately focused down. Shadow Demon getting that kill. Base Lottery getting it. Hashtag Base Lottery 2016. Mech gonna get charged there. Primetime gonna TP out as well. He's got a gem. He's finished up his 6 items, if you count the gem of True Sight, which I really don't. But they're gonna look to focus the mid lane right now, and this should be, if they can get the second set of Raxes, which I don't think they'll have any trouble doing, they will most certainly be in a very prime position to take this game. And they will call GG well played. UCSF will go down 1 game, so it is 1 game going on the side of Berkeley. Stay right here, guys. We'll be back in about a minute-ish. Depending on how long of a break we take. So I'll keep you informed. Thanks for watching. Once again, I am Maut. This is to NeoDota. If you enjoyed the cast, you can follow us at NeoDota on this channel, neodota.com. Please head to that site. It's really nice. Twitter.com/NeoDota2 and YouTube.com/NeoDota2. If you'd like my casting, you can follow me at Twitter.com/MautDota2 and Twitch.tv/MautDota2. Other than that, good game. We're going to head into the next one. And I'll see you in a minute.